Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1 and welcome to some breaking news I'd like to share with you. And this came not far from my house, right out of North Carolina. Let me share some things with you. A mass power outage affected nearly 40,000 customers in North Carolina, Moore County, is being investigated as a criminal occurrence after crews found signs of potential vandalism at several locations. Several communities across the county began experiencing power outages about 7 p.m. on Saturday. And this came from the Moore County Sheriff's Office. As utility companies began responding to different substations, evidence was discovered indicating that the intentional vandalism had occurred at multiple sites, and this came right from the Sheriff's Office. Crews were experiencing multiple equipment failures that are affecting substations in Moore County, and this came from Duke Energy. So Moore County Sheriff's deputies and officers from other law enforcement agencies responded to the different sites to provide security. Moore County is located in the North Carolina central area, about 50 miles northwest of Fayetteville. The representative from Duke County said at least 2 of the company's substations were vandalized. He said he did not know the extent of the damage or how the vandalism occurred. At 9:42 p.m., emergency scanner traffic reported several explosions heard in Carthage. Now, was these explosions an explosion to damage? Probably not at 9:42, because I think it was already discovered. It was already occurring. Was this an additional problem developed, or was this a result of equipment being damaged, resulting in other equipment failing or exploding? Don't know. Only time will tell. At approximately 8:45, outages were reported across the southern edge of the county from Vass to Pin Bluff. The outages spread. It was like 12,000, and then less than an hour later, most of the county and some areas outside of its borders were without power. The latest from Duke Power said power could be restored by 10 p.m. Sunday, 10 p.m. So they're gonna. That's a long time. They're definitely having to replace some equipment at substations. More information saying yes, at least 2 substations were vandalized. Also said that the sewer lift stations were also out of order, not because of vandalism, but because of the no power. And also law enforcement is asking people to stay off the streets because all of the traffic signals in the county are out. While typical outages of North Carolina are often resolved within an hour or so, the late-night blackout for much of Moore County appears to be a new territory for Duke and for law enforcement. Also was said, we can't yet estimate when power will be restored, he added, and this is a spokesperson for, I think, Duke. Certainly, it's a complex repair. So there you go. There's some information about the incident. If there were just one substation, it could be some redneck out there hunting and decided he wanted to shoot up a power station, see if it could hit something. These were multiple substations. Now, were the multiple substations close together? Were they far apart? All these things would be important to know, because if they were far enough apart, miles and miles and miles, it was definitely an effort by numerous people, or someone damaged one and drove immediately to the other one and damaged the other one. That will be determined. I did hear reports that law enforcement were looking for shell casings. They were doing a thorough search of the area, and that'd be typical if it was any crime or any vandalism of this severity. You know, people worry about EMP, and that's definitely a threat. A few people across the United States could orchestrate a lot more damage than you think. While in Iraq, right at the beginning of the latest conflict, there was a bridge that was very vital to the U.S. efforts in there. And I actually told some people, I said, this bridge is going to get blown up. A week later, the bridge was blown up. Also, there was huge power lines stretching through areas that no one lived. And I knew it. I said, why aren't these insurgents blowing up these power lines? Yes, blowing up the power lines hurts the Iraqi people, definitely. But guess who's in charge? U.S. military. So U.S. military is looked at to repair them. And all of a sudden, guess what? They started coming down. Explosives were used, and the big transmission towers were toppled. And that took a lot of effort on the U.S. part. We had to run roving patrols all the time now on power lines, trying to stop these from being vandalized, more like destroyed. So hopefully this is just an isolated incident. Hopefully it's not a test, and I'm not saying this is widespread test, but is this a beta test? Are they testing out how easy it is to take down a substation? And it's not very hard. A high-powered rifle, and there's all kinds of other means. I'm not going to go into it in this public way, but substations are very vulnerable because a lot of them, where I know, are off the beaten path. They're not guarded, so they are a point where someone could destroy it and cause a lot of damage to the United States economy. Now, we know the logistical supply problems with transformers, and these are small transformers to hook up new houses. What about the big transformers? We've all been told that there's only a few in the United States, some of the bigger ones. So if there was 50 of them destroyed overnight, it could leave the United States in the dark for many months until there was enough of these to be repaired or rebuilt and fixed. So this is just some breaking news. Hopefully they'll figure it out quickly, and there's not a sinister plot behind it. It's just some, I guess, rednecks with a rifle. If it was, someone shooting at it, there's a lot of ways you can damage a power station or a substation, but only time will tell, and hopefully the investigation shows that it was an isolated incident. Thanks for watching.